Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's GTA video, we're going to be going over a recap of interesting GTA 6 news recently, including what many are believing to be a leaked screenshot or image of the game, Rockstar insiders responding on the topic of Grand Theft Auto 6, and a whole lot more. Alright, so let's begin with that leaked screenshot, supposed leaked screenshot. In fact, I'll even show it to you guys right now. This is an image that was spreading online over the last couple of days that players were freaking out over. And to set the scene, you've essentially got three monitors here. The one on the left and the right is blurred. I would imagine that would be purposely. And it looks like it has some like developer tools, debug stuff, lots of graphs and charts, things that maybe like a developer would end up using. And in the center monitor, you have what looks to be a male character in a suit holding an assault rifle. Looks like their hand is in their right pocket. And it looks like you've got some sort of tropical setting. And I would imagine this would either be, or at least if the leaked image is real, some Vice City location. You can also see there is a mini-map in the bottom left-hand corner. There looks to be a HUD in the top right. And then more sort of debug developer stuff on the right-hand side as well. And one interesting tidbit is that the monitors look like they have the Rockstar Games logo on them, which is actually kind of a cool touch. That would be sweet if Rockstar had like their own brand of monitors. I'd be all for that. And so a lot of people were debating, is this photo real? Is this fake? Is this our first leaked screenshot of GTA 6? And there was a lot of angles that people were trying to go after this screenshot. The first thing is they were saying is maybe this is a result of the Rockstar employees and developers working from home, because it kind of does look like it could be a home setup. In fact, maybe that's why you see the Rockstar logo glowing in white on the monitors. Maybe Rockstar provided all their employees working from home some gear so that they could continue doing work for the company. But to me, there was just a handful of things that didn't seem right about this screenshot. Number one is the graphics looked really good, even for a photo that I don't think is the best quality here. And that's something I've said in previous videos, like, how is it that all potential leaks are taken with like the worst quality camera phone ever? I just don't know. But the graphics looked like really good, like suspiciously good, almost if it was like a real life photo. Also, the mini map in the bottom left looked suspiciously bad, especially for a Rockstar game. So I don't know why that looked so poor. And also the HUD on the top right looked completely different from what we've seen in Red Dead Redemption 2 and in previous GTA games. Like it looked totally different, like non-Rockstar style. So I just wasn't getting the vibe that it was a Rockstar game. And I also think that the leak was a little bit like over-edited with like the super blurry monitors on both sides, the Rockstar game light on the monitor, although I do think that is super cool. And what I'm guessing is our main character here also looks like he might have just been photoshopped in. It just doesn't seem like a natural pose. It's sort of like he's been superimposed in there. And before we get to the final result, I want to hear from you guys in the comments down below on what you initially thought about this image here. Did you think it was real? Did you think it was fake? Well, it turns out that this is fake. And the reason for that is whoever put together this image, they ended up using a stock photo. As you guys can see here, this is literally the image that they pulled off of the internet. It's from Getty Images or the website iStock. I'm really not too sure, but you can see it is the exact same photo right there. Exact same palm trees, exact same bike, exact same lifeguard stand. So, mystery solved. This is not a GTA 6 screenshot, but more like an elaborate attempt to create a fake. I will say, they did a pretty decent job. There was just a handful of things that stuck out as not so great. And definitely don't try and use stock photos, because that's like super easy to like back search and figure out if it's been used or not. So if you see people talking about this, now you can not only prove that it's fake, but also know with 100% certainty that it is fake as well. So that is the latest GTA 6 leak that people have been trying to pass off as real, and we've just ended up debunking it. So hopefully that clears some things up. Now, we've also heard from several Rockstar Games insiders on the subject of GTA 6. We're actually going to start with insider TezFunds2, who was responding to someone on the GTA forum site that said this. They said, release an incomplete version of the game and then update it over time, making people pay for the updates. If that's what's going to happen with GTA 6, we better lower our expectations. The game will be more pop and commercial than GTA 5 itself. Maybe it's the reason Dan Houser left. And TezFunds2 said that's just one of their plans as noted in the article. He's referring to the article that Jason Schreier wrote for Kotaku, essentially outlining Rockstar's culture of crunch over the last 18 months and how Grand Theft Auto 6 was in early development, was going to be Rockstar's next title, and also could be moderately sized as compared to previous games. But he goes on to say plans look good on paper, but it gets really messy once the reality hits. The online mode is what will cause the real mess, as it requires a fair amount of effort, time, and attention from the developers, enough to attract future single-player updates. Anyways, I am interested to see what happens once we are close to release. I feel like there's a high chance this plan will be ditched by the time we get there. And honestly, I sure hope so. Because in that article, they talked about having the game being moderately sized at release, and then having, add-ons and expansions to fill in the story. Now, don't get me wrong, I would love single-player updates to a future GTA title, but not at the sacrifice of having a smaller campaign or a story filled with less content at the very beginning. So I'm hoping that Rockstar finds a way to fully develop GTA 6 as big as and as best as that game could possibly be, without obviously having to sacrifice the quality of the game and the life quality of the talented employees and developers, animators, and artists that are making the game come to life. So I really just honestly want to get something official from Rockstar. I don't know if that time is coming soon. In fact, that's actually a good segue into our next Rockstar Games insider, Yan2295, who was asked on the GTA forum site, Yo Yan, do you think we could possibly see an announcement this year or next year? Because GTA 6 wouldn't need as much marketing as they did with GTA 5. Just want to see your thoughts, my man. And he said, my personal guess would be this year, but with the current situation, I wouldn't blame them to push everything back. So who knows? And if that is the case, that's obviously unfortunate. There's so many different variables with what's going on in the world that it's kind of hard to put video games as like a priority. In fact, it's definitely not a priority, but Rockstar is a business. They're in the business of making video games, but they're still a business. So it's very possible that what's going on in the world has had an impact on the announcement of GTA 6, and we might not never know. In fact, the only people that might know is Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive themselves. Now, we also heard from Yan2295 on Twitter. Someone ended up asking him, do you think GTA 6 will have a PlayStation 4/Xbox One version? And he said, it depends when it releases, I guess. I could definitely see them try to cash in on 2 generations of consoles, but if they've been out for a while, I don't think it would make sense. And remember, that's what Rockstar did with GTA 5. There was about a year gap between it coming out and what we saw for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So if it's anywhere around that, they might do the same thing. We saw how successful it was for them when that happened. But I think Yan is right here. It just depends on, when the PS5 and Xbox Series X release. And then obviously when GTA 6 comes out, I think that will ultimately determine everything. And again, sort of speaking of the announcement, many fans were anxiously awaiting over the last couple of days as the first part of the Summer Games Fest got underway, and there was a lot of surprise games that were going to get announcements, and many players were hopeful that Rockstar would make an appearance, that they would announce Grand Theft Auto 6, and at least so far, that has not happened. We haven't heard anything from Rockstar at Summer Games Fest. This is something I'm going to keep an eye on, but so far, we haven't seen anything. In fact, Spider-Vice, a moderator and admin on the GTA forum site, brought up a good point regarding the Summer Games Fest. He says, in past experience and all the years here, Rockstar has only used events and indirectly twice to talk about games. Grand Theft Auto 4 was a big exception at E3 and announced by Xbox, and Grand Theft Auto 5 was just the next-gen versions announced by Sony. A proper new GTA announcement will never happen at an event, but at Rockstar's own accord. So that's a good point. Obviously, he brings up what Rockstar has done in the past, but it's also true that I really don't believe Rockstar would ever do something like that. And when GTA 6 is announced, it'll probably just be something so simple, like them tweeting out hashtag VI or, changing their logos to pink or something like that. Who really knows? Now, the only other thing we're going to be discussing in this video today, I've been getting a lot of questions about this, and it doesn't necessarily have to do with GTA 6 directly, but more or less a game that could compete with GTA 6's release space, just because they might not want to come out at the same time. And it's also under the Take-Two Interactive umbrella. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with the game Mafia. I'm sure you guys are if you're a fan of Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption. You'd probably love the Mafia series. Well, their Twitter account has started to become active again. Over the last couple of days, they've been tweeting out a series of one-word replies: family, power, respect, at least the most recent announcements. And again, this comes from Take-Two Interactive. So if something new is happening in the Mafia series, that might have an impact on when Rockstar would potentially either A, announce, or B, release a new title like GTA 6, because they probably wouldn't want to announce and release these games at the same time. They'd be big enough where they certainly wouldn't want to compete with each other. So just something to keep in mind right there. It's interesting when a Twitter account like that becomes active, especially because that's exactly what we saw Rockstar do with Red Dead Redemption 2 right before it was about to get announced. So it's kind of a similar approach, which is what makes things a little bit interesting here. But anyways, that is all the information that I've got for you guys in this video today. Hopefully you did enjoy. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about the screenshot that we debunked earlier and Rockstar insiders chiming in on GTA 6. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and Red Dead Redemption videos that I'm doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.